Hello, coaches of Boomerang. I'm coming to you tonight to give you a little video on recruiting with confidence. I know that this is something that most of us struggle with at first, and honestly, it just takes practice. So, I wanted to record a call tonight to share some of my best tips and practices with regards to recruiting both challengers and coaches into your circle, basically. So there's a few different ways that we can do this, right? You can or need to build a strong foundation of belief, right? So figure out what's your story. Why do you love Beachbody? We can use questions to build trust. Find your customer's sign. That's their strengths, interests, goals, and needs. And we can be proactive instead of reactive. Those are kind of the three top things, right? So what do I mean by proactive instead of reactive? Proactive means when's your next group? What are your goals for this month? When are you inviting, right? When are you working? Do you have a work schedule? Being proactive about and intentional about your coaching rather than just reactive and kind of like whatever happens, happens, right? Because that's not how you build a strong foundation for a business. So I really think it's so important to think about what kind of a person and what type of person you are trying to speak to when you're speaking, because if you try to speak to everybody, you're going to reach nobody, right? So you really want to get clear on your person, like who is the person you're trying to speak to. For example, my person that I'm trying to speak to is me 2.5 years ago before I found Beachbody, right? Has about 10 or 15 pounds to lose, really low self-confidence, used to be an athlete, well, still is an athlete, I guess, but doesn't have organized sports anymore, feels frustrated, deals with IBS, rents, is in a long-term relationship. Like these are all things of my like ideal person who I'm trying to speak to. So when I craft my posts, that's who I'm trying to talk to. And you'll notice that a lot of the coaches on our team actually have that kind of an identity when you come in, because like attracts like, right? And so that's who I'm trying to speak to, and so those people come in. So you have to figure out, get really clear on who you are, what's your identity, and what's your story, like who are you trying to speak to bring into your circle, right? Because that's what this is about, is paying it forward. The three most common posts that I put up personally to recruit both challengers and coaches. I put up posts about my challenge groups. Recently, I put up posts about the girl gang group that I'm hosting, which I'm super excited about. I put up posts about lifestyle and sharing success stories, whether that's success from myself as a coach, like us adventuring, me making a paycheck while traveling through Asia or traveling all summer, or my challengers' success stories, or our coaches and our team success stories, so any kind of like lifestyle stuff. And the third one is I post about coach mentorship program, and I'll do this like once or twice a month where I'll post, I'm looking for 5 new coaches to mentor this month. I only have 5 spots. I try to keep it limited so it's quite personal. And those are kind of the 3 most common ways that I recruit people based on my posts. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do this, right? You can interact with people with hashtags on Instagram. So what you can do is you can Google the top hashtags for the things that you're interested in. So I would suggest making an interest list first. Okay, so make an interest list of like your top 10 interests. For example, mine would be meditation, gluten-free cooking, yoga, crystals, hippie, right? I don't even know what else. Like Nike women, those are like my likes and interests, right? You might have marathons and shoes and mommy groups or whatever, like whatever your interests are. Pick your top 10. Go Google top hashtags for people who love meditation, right? And then go to Instagram, plug in those hashtags, and then check out where your people are hanging out. And those are the people you want to interact with, right? So that's just a little tip or trick on how to find the people in the first place, right? You can also do it on Facebook. You can type into the search bar, friends of my friends that like Jillian Michaels, friends of my friends who like AC/DC, the band, right? You can type into the search bar and find friends of your friends based on that. You can also go and join groups. I highly recommend this. I joined a blogging group recently. I joined a group for people that want to write a book because I want to write a book, right? Just join groups of people that you're interested in and interact in the group. Don't do anything Beachbody. Don't post any like spammy, like everybody join my challenge group. Don't do that because you'll get kicked out really quick. right? But just join the group, make friendships, and then if you find people in the group that you relate to and enjoy conversing with or commenting back and forth with on posts, add them as a friend, and then that's somebody that's now in your warm market that you can invite, right? So there's just a bunch of different ways that you can do that kind of thing with regards to posting. So the key thing though is to learn early that this is the formula. Ready? The formula is you showing up on social media. You showing up on social media equals trust being built. Trust being built equals relationships being formed. Relationships being formed equals new customers. New customers equals people in your challenge group, aka Success Club, aka people to help. Okay, people to help slash just new customers slash Success Club equals testimonials, which leads to new coaches, which equals success, and you repeat. Right? So you show up on social media, you show people what you're doing, they trust you, they join you, they try it, they love it, they succeed, and you do it all over again, right? That's basically the formula for success as a coach. It's so simple, super simple, but I think sometimes we overcomplicate it a little bit. So you have got to basically get over yourself, and you've got to have the courage to just ask people, right? Like you have to ask yourself, first of all, do others deserve to feel as good as I feel? I personally have had my life changed by Beachbody programs, Shakeology, this community, the coaching opportunity. I replaced my teaching job with this opportunity, and if that's not kick-ass, I don't know what is. So obviously other people deserve to feel this amazing, right? So my main goal is to pay this forward. So really get into the mindset of you're not selling something, because I know when we think of selling, sometimes we feel icky. You're just sharing what's working for you. And yes, you have tools and programs that can change people's lives that you technically sell, but you're sharing a lifestyle, you're sharing tools and a community, and really the value that you're sharing with people is just unquantifiable. It's insanely awesome, and you know that from being part of it, right? I just want to get you guys to think of what's working for you. What were you scared of before you started? Okay, how can you help your people? Why do you love coaching? Right? Share those things. That's important to share in your public posts as well as in your conversations with people. And I always try to create posts that I would have liked to see before I joined. So anything to do with like the nutrient density of Shakeology. I'm a nutrition freak, so I love that kind of stuff. Okay, any kind of like holistic ideas on like holistic living, right? Ditching stress and anxiety, like PD, meditation, all those kinds of things. I try to share self-love, being financially free, paying off debt, those kind of things. Those really appeal to me. So I try to share posts that appeal to the person that I was before, right? Because like I said before, like attracts like, and that's my person, right? My ideal person. Okay, so that's a bit about like posting, recruiting with posting. So you're comfortable with posting now, you're making connections, you're doing this consistently. That's the key, consistently, right? And now you need to have conversations and invite people. Do not panic, okay? It's so funny to me that we somehow like forget our human instinct. We forget how to invite people to things that we like. Just think about when you were 10, right? Just think little 10-year-old you, you're in grade 3, I guess, and you invite Jimmy over after school to play Lego and eat animal crackers with jam, because that's what you do, because you like animal crackers with jam, so you naturally invite him over, right? Same thing here. We love these programs and products and the community and what this whole thing has to offer, so why would we not invite people to join us? Right? Be confident in yourself. Self-belief will take you so far, and that's why PD is such a vital part and is one of the vital behaviors, in my opinion, the most important one, because truly, you have to believe in yourself in order to pay this forward, right? Because we get nervous. We get a little scared of judgment, a little scared of people not liking us, I guess. It's a funny human thing that we do. So really just believe in yourself. Don't panic. Just have conversations, right? Just be you. So you're going to want to cup people. And by cup people, I mean you're going to want to connect with them, uplift them, and praise them, okay? It's that simple. People want to be listened to. So if you are more interested than interesting, your conversations are going to go far. It's as easy as that. So here's some tips that I have with regards to having conversations with people. Slow down, connect, acknowledge them, right? If somebody says, now's not a good time, we have no money because my car just broke down and I had to put a new transmission and something else into it that cost me $2,000. Well, you're not going to go at them with a price objection, comment then, right? But if somebody says, I don't have the money, but then they tell you about how they buy Starbucks coffees every week. Well, you might want to try and switch their perspective then and say, listen, if you didn't drink Starbucks coffees every week, you could quickly save up the money it would take to invest in your challenge pack for yourself, which is way more beneficial to you long term anyways, right? So in that case, you would switch somebody's perspective. You kind of have to play it by ear. Okay, so connect, acknowledge those people, really build genuine relationships. This is something that a lot of people miss, and it's just so key because our whole business is based on building relationships, right? And so when I genuinely care about the people that I'm trying to help, they can feel that through a message. But if I'm just going at them for a sale, I know everybody in here can relate to this. I'm sure every single person in here has had somebody come at them with some kind of skincare or makeup or Tupperware or whatever, and not to bash those MLMs whatsoever, to each their own, and everybody likes and uses different products and stuff. But I'm sure that you've experienced this where you get a message from somebody that is clearly a script. It's a copy and paste. It doesn't even apply to you. You've never spoken to them before in your life. And as soon as you say no, they say, okay, see ya. Or they're offended because you don't want to buy from them, and you just feel kind of cheap and gross after they just wanted to sell to you and they didn't want to have a conversation, right? So just make people feel valued, and it will go so far. Even if they don't join you that month, make somebody feel valued, have a conversation with them. Hey, I saw you got a new puppy. I've been thinking about getting a dog too. Can you give me any tips? Hey, congratulations on your new baby boy. He's amazing. You must be so happy. How are you feeling? Hey, like it's just conversations. Hey, love that lipstick you're wearing in that profile picture. Can you tell me where you got it from? I'm looking for a shade just like that. It's just easy conversations, simple, nothing complicated. It doesn't have to be scripted. Just make connections with people. Okay? Go into conversations with people without an agenda. That's a really big deal. I know that we want to set goals for the month, right? It's really important if you're building a business as a coach to set goals to hit Success Club and go Emerald each month, right? Those are the two things you want to do as a coach if you want to build a business. But when you go into conversations and you're like, shit, I need to hit Success Club. I need this person to buy a challenge pack. They're going to feel that. So you don't want to give them that yucky feeling. You don't want to give them that agenda feeling, again, like they're like a sale, right? So you really want to go into conversation, really listen to their needs. Most people could benefit from what we have to offer. So go into it knowing I have the shit that you need, right? But don't just talk to them because you want to sell to them, right? And if they say no, if somebody says, you know what, it's not for me right now, don't say, okay, awesome, see ya. I always try to carry the conversation on a little bit further after that, just to say, like, okay, no worries, the door is always open if you change your mind. So, I saw you guys are going to Musha next weekend. I go there all the time. My boyfriend's from there, right? Try to keep the conversation going a little bit and still interact with them on social media, because it shows them that, again, they're not just a sale and they actually matter to you. And that goes a long way for some people. I've had people where we'll have a message thread. They're not ready to join me. We've talked about some kind of like gluten-free baking or something, and I'll stumble across a recipe on Pinterest and I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to send that recipe to that person. And I've sent that recipe to that person saying like, hey, this made me think of you. Here's a recipe for these muffins that look really delicious. Let me know if you try them. And that goes so far, you guys. People, when you care, people feel it, right? And it goes so far. They're the ones that come back 6 months or 8 months or 2 years later and they're like, you know what, I wasn't ready, but now I am. Can you be my coach? Because you cared, right? It goes a really long way. So when people, you're talking with people and they offer objections, know that it's a good thing. I know this sounds counterintuitive. When people offer objections, it means that they're actually trying to rationalize if it would work for them, right? So they're offering objections because they're trying to defend and think, if I were to do this, this is how I would feel potentially, right? So you just have to kind of disarm in a really kind, respectful way objections. It means that they're interested, right? So you have to help them see it a different way. And a really good formula to use is, I know how you feel. I felt blank, but what I've found is blank, right? So for example, if somebody gives you a price objection on Shakeology, that's a really common one because people don't understand that it's not just a protein powder. They assume it's a protein powder and they think, $170 for the protein powder? No, thank you. I could just buy Vegan One for $40 at Costco, right? In their mind, they're thinking it's a protein powder. So it's your job, it's our job as a coach to educate these people, right? So I would say something like this. Oh my God, I so know how you feel. When I first bought my challenge pack 2.5 years ago, I first of all only got one program with it in Shakeology, and I was a broke as a joke student. I just finished internship. I had no money. I had worked for zero pay for like however many weeks. I was going to say 7 weeks, but I think it was closer to like 16 weeks or something. I had zero money. I had to put it on my visa. I felt like it was expensive at the time, but what I've found through drinking it for the last 2.5 years is that it's changed everything for me. It's so much more than a protein powder. It has a full amino acid profile. It's pre and probiotic, so it preps my gut to absorb the nutrients, and it delivers a really healthy gut flora, which is so important for my stomach to work properly and for it to absorb nutrients. It's got over 70 superfoods in it. It's healed my IBS, which I've dealt with for like 12 years now. It's the only thing that's worked for me. It's worth so much more than it costs, and what I found is that it costs around $4.80 per glass, which is less than most Starbucks coffees, Red Bulls, or fruit juices, which have like zero of the nutritional value, right? So a little bit less than that, but this is what I'm trying to say, is you say, I know how you feel, I relate to you, I can empathize with you, I felt this way, but what I found is this. And that usually helps disarm people, and it helps them see it in a different light. And you can do that with anything. You can do that with, I don't have time. Well, have you considered it this way, right? I used to feel the same way, but then I found if I stopped scrolling Facebook and I only watched TV 2 nights a week, that I could fit in my half an hour workout when I put the kids to bed, or before work half an hour in the morning, right? There's always objections that you can always counter, because you usually just need to switch people's perspective. That's all. That's all that is. All right. So you're also going to probably feel inclined to word vomit. Don't do this. I actually used to do this, and I think everybody kind of is inclined to, because you're super excited and you just want to share everything, and you're like, oh my god, Shakeology is amazing, like what I just did in that example back there with Shakeology. It's got pre and probiotics and all that stuff. You don't even need to share all that. That's actually kind of a word vomit. You could be like, oh my god, the All Access Pack, it's on for $186 and it's amazing, and you get Shakeology, and you get a whole year of access to all the workouts, and you get the containers and the portion control system, which teaches you how to eat, and you're going to want to eat more yellows, but you don't eat that many yellows, and you get set up with a plan. Ugh, stop. People will freak out. They will go into overwhelm mode, and it's going to like be like one of these ones, right? They're going to be like throwing holy water at you like you're a vampire demon. Okay, so don't do that. Don't worm vomit. Do not word vomit onto people. Just share as little information as you can with still showing them what it is, right? If you help them go into overwhelm mode, they're more than likely going to say, I'll think about it and I'll get back to you. And then they're not going to get back to you, and you're going to be sad. Okay, so don't do that. When somebody says no, not right now, write them down on a follow-up list, okay? And again, same thing that I said before, I usually try to keep the conversation going a little bit further, just so that they don't feel like that was the only intention I had with our conversation. It's really easy for people to feel that way, especially now. There's so many things being sold. We're being sold to all the time. There's advertisements all over social media and stuff. So you really want to appreciate that relationship and show them that you appreciate it by not just piecing out when they say, no, I don't want to buy something from you, right? And I can make another little note about that as well. When you have somebody that is like, I can't afford a challenge pack right now, most people just don't see the value in it, so you want to share the value of a challenge pack. But if somebody's like, you know what, I really like my gym routine, I'm good, instead of saying, yeah, okay, that's fine, see you later, oh my god, you could offer so many other things. You could say, that's amazing, you have an awesome gym routine, good for you, where do you go, that's so fun, here's what I can offer you. There's a Shakeology and Portion Fix challenge pack, first of all, so it gets you set up with Shakeology, the portion containers, the meal plan, all my resources. You can come into my free groups and still do your workouts at the gym. It's extra motivation and accountability and support. Do you want it? Or, that's amazing, you already have workouts, have you considered upping your performance with the supplement line? It's actually the official supplement line of the North American Ironman. Did you know that? You know, you can always offer different things to people, and just because they don't buy a challenge pack, perhaps, you can always offer different things, right? Clean Week is coming out in October. If somebody's really hell-bent on not spending money, you could be like, you know what? Try it for a week. It's $30. You get 7 days worth of Shakeology, 4 different workouts. You get the recipes, you get the grocery list, you get access to the free group. It's an awesome deal. We're going to go for a week. Are you in? $30. Like, most people spend $30 anywhere else. Most people spend $30 on like Timbits or like Walmart bullshit stuff, right? Okay, Always, always, always remember that the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? When you are trying to recruit challengers and coaches and all these people, you have to stay organized and keep track of your people who said what. So I will have a list of my people and I'll write name, date that we last spoke, a little note beside their name, and then I'll write PC if they're a potential coach. I'll write in for October. I'll write whatever note I need to write beside their name. Because then it helps me know, right? If somebody is having a baby in May, I can say having a baby in May, contact in July, or something like that, just so that I know, because we're talking to a lot of people, making a lot of relationships and connections and friendships, and you want it to be genuine and authentic. So it's important to keep track of who's who, kind of thing. And people really appreciate you remembering them. They really, really appreciate you remembering them and being thought of. Okay, always remember that the fortune is in the follow-up. When they tell me that they're not ready right now, or no, it usually just means they're not right now, right? The timing might not be right, which is fine. Just tell them that the door is open. Just tell them if they change their mind, the door is open. I run a group every month. If you want in next month, I'd be more than happy to let you know about it. Do you want me to reach out? That's it. And if they say, no, I'll contact you, sweet. Put them on a no list. On to the next one, right? One of my favorite quotes about coaching is some will, some won't, so what? Who's next? My mission is just to go and pay forward this amazing opportunity and these gifts and these programs, and to pay forward to as many people as possible that I possibly can. I'm sorry if this is fragmented. I got cut off, so I'm going to continue with where I was going. So my last tips, you guys, my last tips on how to recruit confidently, both to challenge groups and to the coaching opportunity. Detach yourself emotionally from the outcome, right? It's easy to take things personally. If somebody says no to you, it's easy to think that they're just saying no to you personally, but it's usually not the case. Like 10 out of 10 times, I would say, is usually not the case. 9 out of 10, hopefully you didn't offend them somehow, right? I just liken it to if you are waitressing and you're offering coffee after supper, right? Just because somebody says no to your Van Hoot hazelnut coffee after dinner, you never take that personally, right? You would just go to the next table, and the next table, and the next table, and then on the fourth or fifth table, somebody's going to drink that coffee and it's going to change their life, and they're going to drop 25 pounds and heal their IBS and their anxiety, and their family life and relationship with their husband is going to be way better, right? Okay, coffee can't do that, but we can do that with the products and programs that we offer. Sweet. So detach yourself emotionally. Focus on helping people and uplifting people. Honestly, my best advice that I could possibly give on how to recruit confidently is to first of all dive into PD yourself, because when you are confident, you exude that, and confidence breeds competence, right, in what you're doing, in your practice, in talking with people and all that kind of thing. So if you focus on helping people and uplifting people, and you really just go at it with the intention of changing people's lives and sharing what you're doing and what's worked for you, you will have success, right? It's the people that get in and think, I'm just going to make a bunch of money doing this. They don't last very long, because that's not how it works, right? You have to lead with your heart. Heart and hustle set you apart, for sure, okay? I always assume that people are joining, so I'll use language that helps people feel like they are joining, and it's actually kind of like a subconscious psychology trick here. I'll use language like, I'm so excited for you to join the group. You're going to love it. Or, I'm so excited to do this together. 21 Day Fix is my favorite program. Okay, I'll say stuff like that because instead of saying, I'm so excited, I hope that you'll join, right? That still puts that little seed of doubt in their mind. But if you say, I'm so excited we're going to work together, this is going to be amazing, right? Notice that I'm already anticipating that they're going to join, and more times than none, they're going to join because they are picking up on the confidence. There's a keyword, picking up on the confidence that I'm putting down. I'm confident that I can help them, and so they feel more confident trusting me, right? And investing their money in a challenge pack for themselves and joining the group and trying it out, okay? Send thank you messages to people who like your post. Those are the first people you should be inviting and recruiting and all this kind of stuff. Those are the people that already like what you're throwing down, right? So make a list. I have an ongoing list of people that like my posts, and I'll send something as simple as, hey, Gina, thank you so much for the loving on my post recently. It doesn't go unnoticed. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to be vulnerable on social media, so your support is really appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome week. That message is received so well, you guys, when you just express gratitude to people and you just put that energy out into the world, it comes back to you tenfold, right? What you put out, you get back in, okay? I will ask a question like, what is holding you back? So if somebody gives me an objection and I counter it with a perspective shifting kind of question slash statement, I suppose, and then they come back and they say, no, this isn't a good time. I will say something like, that's too bad. I know you were super excited to feel really confident in that dress for your 10-year high school reunion because we would have already gone over their goals, right? Because I ask good questions and make sure that I'm more interested than interesting. And I would say, it's too bad. I know you're really excited about feeling super confident, and also I have no doubt in my mind that Shakeology could heal your IBS that you were talking about. Do you mind me asking what's holding you back? And most people will be honest at this point and they'll say something like, you know what, I just don't really have the money right now to spend on this. Or I'm too busy right now. I feel a little bit overwhelmed. My plate's really full. I can't do it right now. Can't take anything else on mentally. And then you just say, that's so fine. Do you mind if I follow up with you next month? Or do you want me to reach out next month when I host another group? It'll give you enough time to save up funds, or hopefully things will be slowed down by then, or blah, 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 right? So you just ask people what's holding them back because you would have already gone over their goals, okay? Know that it's all about their why, but you are guiding the conversation. That's a really big deal, okay? And know that you get better as you practice. It's like anything. The more that you invite people, the more that you have conversations with people, the better you're going to get, and the more confident you're going to feel in yourself when you're having these conversations. It's a really big deal. Okay, so if you come from a place of confidence, you guys, and you share this incredible opportunity with as many people as possible, you won't have any trouble recruiting people to your challenge groups or to your team, because you will be coming from a place of genuinity and authenticity and just seeking to pay forward this awesome opportunity that has, well, personally changed my life, and I'm assuming has changed so many of your lives also. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. That's kind of my 2 cents on how to recruit with confidence. Show up on social media, host awesome groups every month, set goals, yes, and then just have conversations with people all the time. I am always having conversations with people, whether it is on social media, in the lineup at the grocery store, walking somewhere along the, like, just always have conversations with people and just always be ready to share what you have to offer, because it truly is such a gift and it would be selfish to keep it to ourselves. So share it with as many people as possible. All right. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and any questions, obviously, just post them in the team page.